Hello, good morning. I want to make this quick video before I head out to my hospital job, my weekend job, where I was hired as an early mobility therapist. I'm an occupational therapist. This is Deborah Battistella from Creative Concepts in Occupational Therapy. That is not where I'm working under my business. That's my business. I'm not working at the hospital under my business. I'm employed by the hospital system. And I was hired initially years ago to help create the early mobility program. And as a result of being on that team, people learned about occupational therapy and what occupational therapy is and what we can do for our clients. And the nurse who was on that program was incredible in terms of admitting that she never even knew what occupational therapy was or what we did and the value that we bring to the team. And sorry for this shaking around. I just decided to do this quickly. I'll hold my hand steady. And she even created a test about what occupational therapy does on an early mobility program as part of the competency that she created for people who work in the early mobility program at the hospital. So this is my last day going there for 30 days, I was told. And the reason I want to talk with you quickly before I head out the door is because I'm thinking about the value of occupational therapy, the distinct value of occupational therapy. And a couple weeks ago, we are in the middle of COVID, and a couple weeks ago, when I was expressing concerns about going into the COVID unit, I was told that if I refused to treat patients who have COVID, and that my concerns about going into the unit really had nothing to do with the patients. We're very protected. We are fortunate at our hospital. We have the proper PPE. Except for we don't have the hazard suits, we just had gowns. So I guess, that's not the top that we could have, but we do have PPE. I mean, we have double masks, we have the eye shield, we have headgear, and we have gowns, double gloving, all of that stuff. My problems were related to me and my body and some anxiety that showed up that it took me much by surprise. But anyway, I dealt with that. But I was told that I would have to use my PTO time because I was hired for the weekend, and if I didn't show up for work on Sunday, then we would be leaving the ICU without an occupational therapist. And so because of that, their rationale was that I would have to take the entire weekend off so they could staff the weekend with someone else. So I opted to go to work and take my chances. And now this week I learned that they're just eliminating OT in the early mobility program, and that will be handled by the physical therapists. And so I just find it interesting that suddenly, in a few days' time, OT is not needed in this early mobility program, that PT will handle it. And I'm curious to know how this is going to impact our stroke certification. There are a lot of unanswered questions right now. And I just have to get these thoughts out there, which is why I'm making this video. So another thought that I have that I want to bring up here is how everybody calls all therapies physical therapy. And for some reason, people, I think they can't say the word occupational therapy, because I've introduced myself to people as an occupational therapist. I tell them that I teach occupational therapy, that I do occupational therapy, and within a minute or two, people are calling me a physical therapist. So I think people just can't say the word occupational therapy. Anyway, that's a little my little side note of interest. But over the years, I've noticed in the clinic, when I've been in the medical rehab unit doing a little rehab, not in the acute care setting, but really doing a more intensive approach to rehab, where physical therapists that I work with actually start doing OT types of interventions. Now, this is interesting to me on a number of levels because we know why we engage people in therapeutic activities. We know that we're trying to simulate occupation-based interventions, and we have theoretical frameworks behind all of that, and we have an understanding. And hopefully, when we're doing those things, we're explaining to our patients the rationale for doing that. That's what I do. And so this has been happening with increasing intensity over the past couple of years that I've noticed. Well, haven't I been in conversations where I'm talking to other OT practitioners who have noticed the same thing? And these are people who don't even live in the same area that I live in, states away. I live in New York State, was talking to somebody who lives in Florida who has noticed the same thing. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because physical therapy is the number one discipline prescribed in the hospital. People can't be discharged until physical therapy can come and see them to see if they can walk. And everybody thinks that physical therapy is more important, and that's the valued discipline. And part of it is our fault because we don't talk about the value of occupational therapy. We don't know how to express ourselves or explain ourselves, or maybe we're shy, or whatever the reasons are. It doesn't matter. People just don't understand why occupational therapy is important, and people are not apparently aware of the research now that shows that higher spending on occupational therapy helps to reduce hospital readmissions. And I want us to understand this value. I want us to speak up about the value. It is my hope that we get more vocal and that people start to listen. And so back to this whole thing where physical therapy is the most important discipline. Well, if they are so much better, why are they stepping up and starting to do OT interventions, OT types of interventions? Why do they do therapeutic activities? Why is the physical therapist having someone stand and hang up laundry? How do they document about that? I know how I document those types of interventions and what it is that I hope to improve in my patient, bringing in meaning, purpose, and the value to the patient or the client in my documentation and why I would do an intervention like that. But it just makes me wonder. So it's ironic to me. And so let's use this information as a way for us to empower ourselves, to empower the companies we work for, and to empower our patients, to help them know what occupational therapy is, know what occupational therapy can bring to their lives, and how an occupational therapist or an occupational therapy assistant working with them can help them become more independent. Okay, so this is Deborah Battistella from Creative Concepts in Occupational Therapy, hoping to bring you more value, hoping to spark your thoughts and something inside of you to help you become more vocal about what occupational therapy is. And I just needed to get that off my chest before I go to the hospital in this unknowing, because I don't even know if I'm going to have a job at the end of all of this, because we have physical therapists running our department who don't value occupational therapy. They don't value what we bring to the team. And you know, when I think about it like that, it makes me think, do they value the clients that they serve, or what is their purpose, and why are they running a department? What is this to them? And those are questions that I ask because I don't live my life that way and I don't think that way. You know, I'm always thinking about the whole, which I guess is why occupational therapy came into my life, because it's holistic. We're always thinking about the whole. None of us, not one person in this world lives in a silo. That's not who we are. You know, we are all connected in some way. And So if you're watching this, you likely think this way too, if you've stuck with me this long, because now I'm 10 minutes into this. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being an amazing OT. If you are not an OT practitioner, if you stumbled upon this and you're interested in occupational therapy, or even thinking about yourself or your family member or somebody that you know and care about and are interested in learning more, contact your physician and ask your physician to connect you with somebody who can help you understand more about occupational therapy. I do hope you make it a great day. I intend to make it a great day, and I intend to do my best to bring value to the team that I get to be a part of today and the patients that I will see today. Have a great day.